Okay, let's see if this works. All right. Perfect. S. Bishop Baby has joined. Hello, hello. Okay, let's wait for San Diego Youth Services. Hello, hello, everyone. I love these little virtual waves. Okay. Hello. My first live ever, so bear with me. Let's make sure I do this right. And we'll see if San Diego Youth Services hops on. And oh,
Yay! We got it to work right away.
Woohoo! The moment is here.
Yes.
The moment of truth.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to give all the truth today, honey. All the truth today.
Yes, we will.
So if you're viewing, come with it. We're
yes.
here for the next hour or so.
I know. We'll wait for some more people to join.
Yeah. Okay, so who's on?
Okay, so let's see. Josie, S. Bishop
and
Baby.
Who?
S. Bishop Baby. That's another San Isidro Health account. Okay, we've got some more people joining.
Okay.
We can wait a little bit.
A total of 5.
Yes. Even with a small audience, we're still gonna talk about some good things, good content.
We are.
I'm excited still.
Yeah.
And we got this to work.
I know, our first live, y'all. This is Ashley's first live and my first live. It's crazy. You guys probably are live on this thing all the time, but
I know. Newbies for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's cool. I can see questions. I can do little.
Aw, thanks for the heart, cool. Spreading the love.
Yes.
Ooh, another
and
heart.
Then,
oh. All different colors.
Yes.
I don't even know how to send that. I wouldn't even know how to send that. That's how lame I am on this stuff.
I know. At first, I didn't know how either. But it's cute. It sends little hearts so easily.
I'm more of a snapper. That's always been my thing. So
true.
Yeah. So I'm more. I refuse to learn all of this stuff on Insta. But the more that I've been seeing it though, and other people that I've been following, I'm like, oh man, I really should. But now I can't because. Well, I feel like I can't because, I was dedicated and I've, just stood strong all this time. So now I'm like, no.
They should add that. Imagine if they had little snaps to send out.
I know. I like Snap, but I guess it's moving more towards the Insta, but.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to get started? Should we wait a little longer? Up to you.
We could wait a little longer and see if the friends are coming on.
I know.
It's so hot today.
It is. It really, really is. I had to leave my house in the morning because of how hot it was and walk around.
Yeah, it's hot.
There's no AC in San Diego either. Most places I've ever lived in don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, I know. I have a very small one, but then I live upstairs, so the heat just rises and bakes. It's it doesn't even help. But
same with me. Same with me.
I know. It is really hot today though. So hopefully if you're not here on the live, you're at the beach somewhere.
Yes.
Now the beaches have opened up.
And
I've been there last week when it first opened up, and it's just, I don't know. It was there wasn't a lot of people still, and I just was like, oh wow, it's really empty. But it's just so mind blowing to think that we could not even go onto the beach for a whole month. Nobody.
I know.
And then to see people walking and laying out finally, because then it went from nothing to then people could lay out.
Yeah.
And then when people could, or walking only, and not lay out, just walking only. And then boardwalks were still closed. And what else was going on? You could go in the water, but you couldn't stay there. So yeah, it was just crazy.
I
But
know.
now you could go in the water and you can lay out and stuff. And
Now beaches are packed. Now beaches
Yeah.
are packed. I've seen a lot more people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We got some new people joining.
Yeah. Oh, wait. How do they do it? They could send a heart. You guys can ask questions too.
Yeah. Get started then? Let's get started.
Okay.
Yeah. Got
Let's
some
do it.
people. I'll introduce myself first then. I'm Ashley. I'm with San Ysidro Health Teen Clinic as a health educator. You may know me, you may not. This is my first live, so I haven't done a live on the Teen Clinic page before.
You're doing great, Ashley. You're doing
super
great.
excited. I got technology to work, so I'm always excited for that.
Oh my God, yes.
But maybe you've seen me in the classrooms. I used to give presentations. I also help with the Instagram posts in general. So if you see that traveling condom, I usually work on posts for the traveling condom. Submit your ideas. We always want more. But that's just a little background about me. And then we have a special guest, Denise, with us today.
Yeah.
If you want to introduce yourself.
Yes. So, hello, IG world, you beautiful brothers and sisters out there. I'm Denise. I work for another nonprofit here in San Diego County, really familiar, called San Diego Youth Services. So San Diego Youth Services has an array of different programs, really fundamental to families and youth, just really trying to get them to be whatever area you're at and you need support in, if that's mental health, if that's housing, if that's suicide prevention, if that's intervention services where you want to kind of check out some classes and attend some groups and check in with a person and, talk to somebody and get that support. We have an array of different programs, and we're also in schools a lot too.
Yeah.
So the program that I specifically work with is called iCare, and it is working with youth throughout San Diego County that have experienced CSEC or human trafficking, and I'll break down what those two things are. Really, really similar, but kind of different worlds. And just let you guys kind of understand what the program is. And you guys may have heard about it in your classes at middle school or in high school about human trafficking and what to do and the warning signs. And so we are the program that works with y'all when that happens. And so the goal for today is to kind of just open up this platform to talk about what this program is, and then also to just hear what you guys have to say and just keep it real and as genuine as we can. So like we said, it's our first live, so we're super, super excited. You can't even fake it. It's
We're
great.
Excited.
Crazy boy joined. Crazy boy. Hey, ow. Little wave.
Yes. If anyone
we're almost
has,
at 10.
We are.
We're almost at 10, Ashley. That's huge. That's huge.
That's big for us. That's big for us. We were excited with 3. Now we're excited with almost 10.
Yeah,
it's
we
true.
were excited with 3.
It's true.
I know. We get it. You guys are probably at the beach or doing something, or there's other more important people to follow and lives to jump on. But, we're important too.
We are.
Yeah. What you have to say. So.
And you'll be giving some great information.
Yeah.
Should I leave it open to questions? If anyone has questions so far about your little intro about iCare, what you do. So if anyone has questions for Denise, go ahead and leave some comments or ask in the little questions box, and we can go ahead and go over some of them.
Yeah.
If none pop up, maybe you can go over the CSEC versus the human trafficking and the difference between that.
Yeah. So I saw the little heart. Thanks, guys. Looks great. Yeah. So essentially what we're talking about is human trafficking and CSEC. So what CSEC stands for is, you might have heard that term. It stands for commercial sexual exploitation of children, right? Ooh, a question. What's the favorite part of your job? Squirrel. I'm such a word. So commercial sexual exploitation of children, right? So what we're talking about here is we're talking about minors specifically. So 18 and younger. So anyone that's on the live right now, if you're a youth, if you're 18 and younger, this is specifically going to be targeted to you. So what we're talking about is there is an exchange of, there's an exploitation piece. There's an exchange of a sexual flavor. It could be something that is arousing to somebody. It could be, it could be anything that's kind of sexually oriented, right? And the exploitation piece comes in when there is an exchange of money or an exchange of value or something of value. So for my babies out there that are listening, it's like, okay, what is up for value? Sometimes it's clout, right? Sometimes you want attention. Sometimes you want to be, you know, in the inner circle. Sometimes it could be a bag. Sometimes it could be an iPhone. It could be a money. It could be tickets to a concert, a game, a trip somewhere, a hotel stay. So anything of those natures where somebody is trying to kind of use this exploitation piece, which is the exchange. And then the commercial component of that is the commercial sex act. So we're not limiting it to oral, or only oral, anal, or vaginal. What else could it look like? It could be a massage. It could be, hey, I got this outfit. I want you to wear this to this party tonight. I want you to bring 2 or 3 of your friends, and like, you know, you guys don't have to do anything. You're just going to serve drinks. We'll throw you $60. This is like these kinds of things that are like happening, right? And they're very real. Or slide me that picture, right? In the DM. Take this, you know, I bet you would look a little bit, you know, you're so beautiful, but I bet you would look better with nothing on. I bet you would look better with something more, you know, lacy, or, you know, these kinds of conversations is essentially what we're getting at. And we want the youth to know that we know that this is going down. We know that this happens, right? We don't, the other light that we kind of want to shed in this conversation is we get it. And we want to come from a victim-centered lens. So when we talk about that, we really want y'all to understand that we see these conversations and these behaviors happening, right? We understand people make decisions. Some are good, some are not. Some are like immediate, right? And some are kind of like you're on that survival mode. So if it's like, I really don't want to go home because I'm afraid of what's going to happen when I go home, this might not be the best decision right now, but I think that's what it is for me. And y'all are young and y'all are growing. And so when these situations happen, this combination of like a perfect storm, we don't want to put blame on the decisions that are going down, right? And the main thing that we also too is we want to hold accountability to the people that are responsible. So a lot of times what we're seeing is we're seeing young youth all across the county that are getting into these conversations and getting into these situations with older folks, right? People that are above the age of 18 and that know what they're doing and are kind of getting that, what we call like a grooming process, right? So what we're talking about essentially is befriending, right? So talking to you, pursuing you, getting information, right? So extorting certain things that are personal about you, and maybe not with the best intentions, because this might be thrown around later and used against you, right? We've seen that happen with sex tapes. We've seen that happen with nude photos. Again, we want y'all to understand that we know these things are happening. We know that these things get sent. This sexting is going back and forth, but we need to kind of differentiate the two of like, what is really going on? What are these people's interests? Are they your best intentions, or is there a hidden motive here? You know, so we kind of we really welcome, like, we kind of open this arena up to explore more different things of what this could potentially look like. Because when we think about trafficking, we essentially relate it to a person that's forced, a young child that's forced to go and do something that they don't want to do. They're in chains. They're in the house. They can't leave. They're chained to the bed. They're malnourished. They're, you know, this victim bias that we create, that they're this, you know, white child that is made to do this, or an Asian baby that's made to do these things against their will. And it comes in all different looks, right? And so we just don't want to narrow it to, you know, this person is, you know, this is trafficking. But when somebody is forcing you, if there's coercion, where that word is basically manipulation, isolation, different modems of using coercion to get what they want, which is the exploitation piece. So if they're using those force, coercion, or fraud. So if they're fraud in the sense of perfect on our live, right? You get things that are like, hey, what's up, ma? Or something like that. Like, we got a modeling gig or something like that, or trying to, like, you know, get you to be their friend or to follow them. And it's bait, right? It's not real, kind of like catfished, you know? So that's essentially kind of what we are, you know, talking about when we get into this conversation. That's essentially like what we mean. And so what I do is I go, I work with iCare, and I work with a great staff where we have a drop-in center 7 days a week between the hours of 12 to 8. So right now on any given Sunday, You can show up at our confidential location, and you can just go there to kind of basically use it for what you need it for. If you would want someone to talk to, if you want to seek therapy services, talk about your story and how this happened and how this made you feel and process and heal and really open up and do that work on yourself, and give it a try. That's what we're there for. So we have our therapists that are on site. We also have a dog named Scruffy. Shout out to Scruffy. He is a Pet Therapy Humane Society dog. That is our drop-in center coordinators, and he comes and he's all around the place. We have groups, psychoeducation therapy groups, kind of like molding to, what's up? What do we want to talk about? How do we value ourselves? What's social media? How do we, unfollow people that we really don't want to mess with? We talk about all different kinds of things like that. We also have our LGBTQ IA group for the friends. We have our art therapy group that we also do with a wonderful partnership called Grace. And we'll tag Grace in this Instagram too, so y'all can. They're a wonderful team, and that stands for Girls Rising Against Child Exploitation. And I think I got it right. Girls Rising Against Child Exploitation. Yes. So we have them on Mondays, and we do art therapies and like all different kinds of really, really cool stuff, like coasters that they made. Really cool things. So we have a computer lab, we have a group room, we have Netflix, we have a laundry facility on site, we have a child care room. So if you have babies and you still want to come to group, and we serve youth all the way up to age 21. So
that's really good to know.
Ashley will tag it and she'll put it in there, so that you guys will, you'll be able to go. And you can actually check out all of those groups that I mentioned and more are on our SDYS website where it says I Care Goes Virtual, and you can go and check those out. Thanks for the hearts, y'all.
I know. If you want, I can pin a phone number too for right now in case people wanted to know for friends, people they may know. Do you know what the phone number is?
We can pin that up for you. Well, I can give everybody my phone number right now, and then we can pin up the other one. So phone number to get contact to find out what it's about if you want to check it out. Maybe do like a virtual tour. I could do that with you also too when you want to connect with me. So 619-980-5626. And we'll leave the general number on we'll pin it after the session. Oh, we're at 9, Ashley. 9.
Yes.
If we get to 10 and it's 10 today, oh, look at that. Bravo, everyone. Bravo.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Pin that. Perfect.
Nice.
So when you were saying, I like how you were bringing up real examples, because I feel like it's really easy for youth at times to think kind of a dramatized view of maybe sex trafficking or human trafficking, but you brought up like almost those like in-betweens where maybe if I was a youth, I'd kind of be like, oh, it's like a gray line. I bet like the intent is like positive overall. I think it's good, where it's almost easy for them to get in their head and be like, oh, it's just a massage, just something little. So I'm really glad you brought up those points of like pointing it out, like, wait, no, they know what they're doing. You brought up grooming. I feel like that's something people hear about as well. So what would you do for like maybe advice to a friend if like they saw those behaviors, or like what can a friend do to help another friend maybe?
We see that all the time. And that's what I really want to encourage is like, if you see something going on, your friend is telling you, I'm talking to this one person, blah, 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 blah. And something inside you just doesn't feel right. And you're concerned, right? We all have that kind of internal homeostasis of like, what's right, what's wrong. Do we practice great judgment all the time? Absolutely not. We're all human, and there's complete room for error, and there's room to grow. So if you find yourself in that situation where you think like, I'm doing these things and like, I feel like, someone I know, or I'm in a relationship right now where I think I might be exploited a little bit. And it's really hard to kind of see yourself in that situation. Like you can never see the trees when you're in the forest, right?
Yes.
You see
I love that.
Yeah. You see the trees. Ooh, Mark Gross. He has great podcasts. We should tag him on this too and see if he'll like follow.
Yes.
He always uses that. And he does a lot of great stuff with boundaries and valuing yourself and really working on, you know, what is it that you want. So I would really encourage that if you're trying to kind of seek guidance, but that was a rabbit hole. But for a friend that might be going through these things and you're concerned and you're like, hey, that's why I want to put my number there, because that's the kind of program that we are, where it's like, I want to get text from youth, from anyone that's going through something like that, that says, hey, Denise, what you said, or I heard something, blah, 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 like reach out. But I think importantly, another way that you could do that, right? Because unfortunately, we don't work 24/7, right? We only work between the hours of 12 to 8. Is you can go on the website of StDiegoYouthServices.org and go to iCare, and you can refer yourself on our referral form. So the link for our referral form is there, and you can go on there and you can call. If you're unsure, you can call, and you can ask questions like, hey, I'm just not sure. You could refer yourself or refer a friend, and somebody like myself will reach out to you. We'll outreach and we'll say, hey, you know, blah, 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 blah. This is Denise, just was seeing if you were interested in our program, or blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And you could do it that way. Or if you are in an emergency situation where this is like, this is me, I need help, I need to get out, I'm not safe, first call 911. Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing that you can do, and what we'll tag here as well, is the human trafficking hotline number, which is super easy to memorize. It's a national human trafficking line. So no matter where you're at, if folks are in Nebraska, listen to this. Shout out to Nebraska. I know no one in Nebraska. I know no one in Nebraska.
Me either.
Ohio, Missouri, wherever you are. You can call this number. So it's 888-363-6888. Super easy.
Oh, wow.
And we'll tag it on here as well.
888-363-6888. 888. Perfect. And that's the national human trafficking
hotline number. And they run off all of the tips nationally. So, I mean, even if you see something like you're in Florida or something, you're traveling and you're like, ooh, I don't know about this right here, I think, and you're not sure, right? You can call and say like, hey, this friend is out here in the parking lot and it looks like, you know, like, or this one just asked like my friend if they were down for something. And then it seems like someone's following her or watching her or them. You can definitely call that number wherever you are, and you know, and kind of just be a good human being, right? Do what you can in a safe way.
So true.
Yeah.
Is there anything in San Diego that maybe you hear a lot, or like especially with youth, that like almost your most common, I would say, like either referral or the type of human sex trafficking you get here, especially with youth, versus maybe other places?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the shifting it's not so much the prostitution that we call it, or that we used to see with people walking up and down the Blade, or walking up and the Blade is referred to as an area that gets a lot of foot traffic. So people are walking, in a sense, trying to sell themselves.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is a lot more of the coercion, of the grooming, of the befriending, the boyfriending, and the teaming up. So that's a lot more what we're seeing. And a lot of the social media has contributed to that, because there's platforms and there's ways to connect now, and there's ways to exchange money, you know, the Cash App, Venmo. There's so many different easy ways that it could be hidden. And so that's really what we're seeing, is that there's these exchanges. And so that's what makes this so important, is that y'all are the people that are in the schools that are running with these friends that hear these things. And so it's important that when you hear it, what do you do with that information? And I don't want to overload you and put that responsibility on you, because that's a lot to carry. But I want you to be confident that if that falls in your lap, you have heard of a program, you know how to hit it up, you know how to get there in case that happens, right? And we have seen that in schools where youth have referred a friend to a counselor, or they've mentioned something, or, you know, it's kind of known in the school that this person is, you know, doing X, Y, and Z, or talking to this one person. They come and pick them up from school every day. They're 22 or they're 32.
Yeah.
You know, so we just want people to be able to, you know, feel confident that they know what to do if and when they come into that situation.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And we have some questions. So
Nice.
first question is, are men victims of human trafficking
MS.
too?
Oh, I'm frozen.
Let me see. Yes, wait. I hear you, but I frozen. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, you're back.
Yes, I'm back. I was
You're
frozen.
back. You're back. Okay, the first question, are men victims of human trafficking too?
Oh, wait,
And then second one,
who asked the question?
Jess X Beltran, and then the second one is, around what age are age range is being targeted. So, and that was asked by Emmys_mom6.
MS_mom6.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. Okay, so what was the first one? Was by Jess. What was it?
Are men victims of human trafficking too?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Trafficking and sexual exploitation has no discrimination. There's no income discrimination, no race, no sex, no age. And it's, you know, if you dig deeper into this really underground social topic that we're talking about, it goes deep. You know, there's children that are, you know, exploited, and that's what we're getting at. Like, you know, babies even. I mean, it's very, very, it's real. And so we cannot, you know, we cannot sugarcoat it. So yes, absolutely. It happens all across the board.
Yeah. And then around what age range is being targeted?
So that's the other thing, is that there's no discrimination with age as well. You know, we work with youth up to age 21. Our sister program, STARS, that's also a San Diego Youth Service program, works with youth up to 24. And so that just has to do with, you know, different program, you know, overhead and things like that. But it has no discrimination of age. We are typically, and there's different numbers that have been thrown around as the average age of. I saw Patricia's online. She said hi to me. And she just had her baby. Now, so what we're seeing,
there we go,
is that there's a different numbers that have been thrown out of like the average of entry into trafficking, right? Or into sexual exploitation. And that number has ranged from 15, 16. So it just depends. And the numbers are, statistics and numbers are always changing, right? But what that shows us is that if that's the average age in human trafficking, if we're coming from prevention, we've got to have these conversations and talk to, you know, these younger. So then it becomes a question of, well, how young is too young to have this conversation? And I feel the conversation is always appropriate to have, but we got to make it age appropriate, right? So we've got to then, if that baby has a phone, you need to talk about that. How do you do it? Maybe not depending on the age, right? But you've got to have a conversation about boundaries, safety, what is appropriate, what are no-fly zones, and create guidelines around that. And also to creating a good relationship and rapport with your youth, that, you know, maybe if I'm tough to talk to and you hide things from me because you don't want to get in trouble, you know, I hear you. I understand. I wish that you can come to me and talk to me, but making sure that they do have someone that is a home base. And a lot of times that's a friend. So that goes back to, you know, youth being friends with other youth, hearing things and just doing the right thing when they hear about it. That's true. Great question.
Wow.
Yeah. And consent. Jess Beltran. Yes. Consent is huge. Right. Absolutely. And there's so much power in that. There's so much power. What becomes difficult is the pressure of in the moment, right? Following the crowd, being true to yourself, or not being true to yourself and falling in line, right? With something that maybe you don't agree with, but you made that decision. And like I said, we always make decisions, whether they're good or bad, but we can always grow from that and, and take accountability and move on, right? Move forward.
Yeah.
So, consent is huge. And practicing,
And like,
right? Getting comfortable with like, what if you are in a situation like that? What if you are at this place and you really do want to go home and you want to get out and you're sitting on that couch and you see things going on? How do you, what could you make up off the cusp? What could you do? You know what I mean? Like like sometimes, when you get an attitude because someone's asking you about your homework or someone's asking you about a paper or they're telling you to sit down, you can't go to lunch. You're like, man, what do you mean? You know what I mean? That same, you can act up. You could do, that's the appropriate time to start exercising that power. And really, in those situations that are really, really risky and that are super, super unsafe, I encourage, you to kind of like, think about situations like that, just because it's always good to be prepared,
Yeah. You're so right when you brought up like in that moment. I feel like especially when it comes to consent, like you can know about it, you can see posts about it, but when it comes to that moment and you're faced with it in whatever scenario you're in, it just becomes this like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And it's like, all these things. But I like how in the very beginning you said, we're all human and we all have like made mistakes in the past, but it doesn't mean we can't go forward from where we began in the first place.
Yeah.
So even like knowing what to do and like knowing to your core, like this thing is going on, it makes me uncomfortable. Having that power and like sticking to what you fully believe in, whether that's like in your core, this doesn't feel right. Definitely listen to that core.
Right.
Like that inner voice you were speaking of.
Yeah. And it's true. It's so true. And it's, and that's what's kind of really unique about this program is we understand that you made a decision, right? And we can always do a better job next time, right? You're going to have support. You're going to have people that are not going to have that over your head, that are not going to judge you, that are not going to. And that's the other thing.
That blame.
Absolutely. And the other, that we have a lot of other youth that have experienced the same thing. So it's nice to come into a building where it's like, oh, hey, what's up? What's good? What's the, you know what I mean? Like being around other youth that, kind of have a similar story to, something that you're going through and that you can, be that support for somebody else. Right.
Yeah.
So that's hopefully a good thing to always have.
I'm so happy you even are promoting that safe space for youth because that is really, really important. Yeah. What do you think as like a health educator, and obviously we're not in the classrooms right now, but what's something like we can try to do better to incorporate more of like, we do have actually a lesson on human trafficking, but even with like, I feel like almost having that like lens almost, what do you think are some good tips like we can even give out to share? Like when we're just talking about even healthy relationships and like things like that.
I think that it's just, one thing I would kind of just say that's just like from person to person is just be authentic, be genuine, be someone that it's like, look, I have your best interest. Like we're in this field for a reason, we got our degrees, we have our professions, but we're humans. We know, we have a feeling of a life that, what I mean, y'all are experiencing and we get it. We just want to keep you safe. We want you to know if you are in a situation, what to do, and then how to access
all your heart.
That's yes. Like that's all. That's essentially, what you want, because from there, if you're that person, it doesn't matter if they're experiencing substance abuse, molestation, suicide, ideation, whatever the case may be, that will come out. Whatever the situation is, it will come out. And then from there, you'll know what to do as a professional to, connect them with what that is. And I think that's the other thing is kind of just knowing, if you are working with youth, what services are in San Diego? What are the situations that we're encountering? What are the top things that youth are experiencing? And what are the services that, who are the go-tos that I could reach out? And then what's the eligibility, and kind of just freshening up on some things like that so that you can get them connected to like the right places. But the youth know, I mean, they're gonna, if and when anybody's ready to talk, they will.
Yeah. That is so true.
Yeah.
And even like you saying, because in my head, it's like the youth know there's resources, but it's so different. Like hearing and seeing them for themselves. So like obviously San Ysidro Health, like teen clinic, we promote like birth control, like even like one-on-one health education, kind of guiding them with whatever topic it may be. But you having your specific services, whether it's like human trafficking, like you're saying, mental health, having that hotline to call you and that safe space with other youth who may be going through that, like that is so nice to even promote this other resource for them.
Yes.
For all those other things. So just like
Absolutely.
having you here, I'm so excited that you're able to talk about it yourself, you know?
I know. And we love that
mm-hmm.
San Ysidro, you guys practice, you know, positive sex and, you know, like try and protection and harm reduction. And we know that that's a big, you know, barrier methods. And, you know, California state law says that youth can access, you know, have their own rights to reproductive health care at the age of 12. So if this is something that they can do on their own and they don't need consent from their parents, it is important that we front load them with all of their options and where they can access things and where they can access help, because it's their right, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I actually have, let me flip it over. I pulled up the eye care page in case anyone wants to see. So let's see. I'm going to flip it over. So can you see it fine?
Boom. We sure can. Oh, so, there's our building, y'all. There's our building inside.
If you look up eye care services, this is what will come up. You can scroll down. This is the building. So right there, mental health services, 24-hour support, psychiatry, community training, and then drop-in center services. So I'm going to keep scrolling. When she said that referral page, right where it says contact, actually it's under contact. It's, let me see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it is under contact. Right here it says eye care referral form. So when she was talking about referrals, this is what comes up.
Yep, and
so
it's
just
very
wanted
simple.
To show that.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'll just like go, so when we talk about, we have our drop-in center and in our drop-in center, as I mentioned, all the groups, and the groups are listed on the well. So when you guys go on there, you can see, but we also have a couple of different unique positions within eye care. Some people on our staff have lived experience. So we're not just talking at the walk and doing that without kind of like coming to a ground and saying like, we have staff members on here that can relate, right? And sometimes you need to have that, and that's important and unique to have in a program that can bring that camaraderie and that understanding that like, you know, I've been through something similar like you have, you know? And we also have our education specialist that kind of serves as that educational support. So if you're looking at school expulsion or school suspension because of your truancies, you know, but for the fact that you were actually dating somebody that was, you know, exploiting you, or you were doing things that were, you know, encompassing of like missing school or not keeping your grades up, and you were going through this situation, we're going to support you, and we're going to, in a way that you would like, whatever that looks like for you individually, of like, you know, how you like us to support you. That's what we do. It's kind of like all hands on deck, and we really try to meet where they're at. So if that's, you know, you want to transfer to a different school, if you need, you want that kind of that treatment team meeting and you want us to be there, if you want to go into post-secondary education and enroll for, you know, college, and you need to do your FAFSA and your applications, and you make your schedules, you want to go to the counselors, we've been to San Diego State University and we got like tours around there, and like, you know, to see like what it's like to just be on campus, and you'll go with people like us, and we'll all just be whatever, and just like, you know, have like just fun, right? Just to see what that, like positive experiences, right, for being on campus. So that's what our education specialist does. We also have our family support partner. So that's another unique position that runs groups for families and parents or caregivers that are experiencing this, that want to talk about it, that really want to process and heal and kind of sit in a room and get feedback from other parents and caregivers. And that's ran through one of our therapists as well. We have that caregiver support position. We also have a connections coach, which is like all hands on deck. It's whatever the youth, if you want to get your driver's license, baby, and you want to study for it, let's pull it up. Let's start studying, you know, meeting them where they're at, whatever that may look like. So the connections coach, and then we also have our employment specialist, which is really unique and really
Wow.
in addition to the program of
You're hooking them up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we do, because there's a unique position within this position where we have an internship program where we pay the youth and we take them through the whole process of getting their first volunteer position, first internship position, and take them through the orientation process of professionalism, management, sexual harassment in the workplace. All of these things you'll do with us.
Yeah.
You'll graduate from that. We'll pay you the whole time to attend the orientation. And then we'll place you in an internship program, either within our agency or outside in the community, and really try to match you up with what's best that you would really like your first position to be, with the hope that you'll get hired on. And so we had 2 successes of that. Yeah. Of our youth getting their first job, and actually the employers hiring them on. And so it's a way for you to get those skills, come to the, drop-in center, get that experience. We'll be with you the whole way through the process and through graduation and everything, and then get paid. And so there's a stipend that you can earn for that. So that's super unique as well. And we have that position along with all of the other groups that we have. And then we also have all of our fun stuff like, holiday dinners.
We just got a wow, that's amazing. It is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's lit in there, let me tell you. We have like 30 friends in there and babies and all of this, and it's just everybody got Amazon presents, $50 worth of Amazon presents, each person on top of other things. And it takes a village, right? So there's really great community partners that have really supported us and supported the work that we do for this cause. And we try to do what we can, how we can do it to, meet their needs. So those are just a couple of things that we have at the drop-in center, on top of the Netflix and the groups and the group rooms and, computer lab, all that.
Yeah. And that drop-in center is still open right now, right? With COVID and everything?
Right.
Okay.
12 to 8.
Yes. Okay.
7 days a week. Every single day, 12 to 8.
Wow.
So even if you want to go somewhere after school and you just want to it's hot outside, you don't want to hang out outside, you come in the AC and post up and chill and be around all the friends and us. And, that's what we're there for. So we just want to create a safe space and help you be the best you can be and be there to support you in that corner, and the families as well that are going through,
that's amazing.
Whatever experience they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is a safe space. Man, I already want to promote this on our page way, way more, because I feel in case youth don't know about it, that's so amazing. Even just hearing the things you do in person, well, not in person, virtually right now.
Yeah.
You do so much than I even remember when we went over it. So that's amazing.
It's a really great unique program that San Diego County has. The fact that we have a drop-in center 7 days a week, that we have therapists, and we have psychiatric treatment that folks can access when they get enrolled in therapy. If there's a further need for medication or prescriptions or anything like that, they can access that psychiatric service treatment through our clinic. So they would have to be enrolled in therapy first, but then they could access that psychiatric service. But we have a great team, and we try to we go hard in the paint for them, and whatever we could try to do, we'll try to do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
it truly is. Has there been, this is a random question, but maybe an increase or decrease you've seen since COVID when it comes to almost you talked about the grooming process and when almost doing things in person almost? I feel that's what it came down to, or even on your phone virtually. So when you think about that, have you seen an increase or a decrease since
there definitely has been? Yes, there's been an increase nationwide with child pornography, which is anybody underneath the age of 18. So we're talking about those nude photos. We're talking about taking them of yourself or sending them. Either way, it goes either way. We're talking about traffickers trying to follow and being online and adding people and things like that. A complete spike in nationwide because of just everybody being online, and there's nothing wrong with being online, and there's nothing wrong with having friends and being on social media. It's just making sure that you're doing it safe and that the friends and the people that you add or that you know have your best intentions at heart, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. What are maybe some takeaways? Like if any of the youth are listening right now, some takeaways for them to keep in mind when it comes to this topic, as heavy as it can be. Obviously, we left you a great resource, but any takeaways for them?
I would just say to them that, you know, just in general, life right now is really, it's giving us, you know, throwing us all through, through like a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I would
like an endless roller coaster.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like on 3 loops at once.
I know, and I really feel for you because as a youth, you want to do things. We get it. You know, you want to go out, you want to be with your friends. There's nothing to do. But the takeaway for me would be just understand what sexual exploitation could look like in an array of different ways. Look at your friendships, look at your relationships that you have, and see, you know, are they benefiting you, and how are they in a healthy, legal, safe way, right? And keeping yourself safe, and also to being a friend to somebody else if they're going through something, and just knowing how to access help or services if you need to. That would be like my main takeaway. If you have that, you're on the right track, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that takeaway.
Yes.
Is there any last minute questions? I want to add all the places to tag. So I still have the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
Yes.
I want to tag, you said a podcast too. There's a podcast you said was really good.
Oh yes. His name is Mark Groves.
Mark Groves.
I name dropped him because I mentioned you can't see the trees when you're in the forest.
I love that because that's really true, and I think really relevant to a lot of different aspects of life.
Yeah, definitely. You can't, and sometimes it's so easy to step away and see it for what it is, and sometimes we may never see it for what it is. Sometimes we may never get out of the forest. Sometimes we won't go in the forest. So many different ways. But I name dropped him because he has a lot of great podcasts. If anybody is interested in doing some inner work and talking about relationships and healthy boundaries, and you know, kind of just working on yourself. So that's why I mentioned him. Yeah.
Oh, I will definitely listen.
He's Canadian.
We love.
So if he hears this, we're in San Diego. He's Canadian.
Oh my gosh! Sometimes we want to move to Canada, but
it's inspiring because it's kind of like when you work on yourself and you get that power, you know, and you make those decisions and you stand firm in it, and that's what, you know, could help us. It could help anybody grow, right? Like, So I just felt like that would be a good one. Yeah, Mark Groves podcasts. He's a good one.
And then I tagged I Care from that little. It was like contact for the confidential location.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
that's really good to know.
Yeah,
there's like a confidential location.
I'm hoping to do a virtual tour of inside our building, so that the youth can kind of see what it's like. But I just, you know, the youth there's so much out here. Ashley, like your program is really great too, and it's like we're here for a reason, right? Because we know that this could be a scary situation. You know, this could be, who do you call? Who do you talk to? Who can you trust?
Yeah.
And when you're in that position, sometimes it is so difficult. And that's why there's great programs and nonprofits in San Diego County that are here to back the youth up in a safe, responsible, legal way, and give them what it is that they need, right? So I think that's another good takeaway also.
Especially now with like all their apps. Like I remember that topic being a conversation when I was in high school, but now even more so, there's so many different platforms like TikTok, Instagram, like Twitter, like Snapchat, Discord. Like I can go on a list of like all these, YouTube even, where people could leave a comment, message you privately, all of these things. And make it really easy to like get your attention. And at a certain age, it's not even like you're more vulnerable per se. It's like your experiences are limited to a certain extent. So I feel like at times you're like, oh, what could this be? Like, I really don't know. Like, we'll see, oh, my friend like talks to this person online or whatever it may be. So
Yeah.
it's
Everybody's
really,
doing it.
it's like
Yeah.
a very like, when you're saying like recognizing and realizing like, wait, what are my relationships and friendships benefiting me? Like, are they really there for me? Like, what's their intent? Like, what are even their ages? I feel like what could do they ask me for more?
Yeah.
Pictures, like even like are they trying to get something out of it? So you brought up really, really good points
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad that transparency gets across, because
Yes.
this one is for the youth. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're here. I could be more, I didn't want to wear the political professional cap today, and kind of, that's not what we were here for. We're here
Yeah.
today to really kind of get the message of like, this is kind of the topic. This is a great program for y'all to access, but to also, relate to the youth and like to keep
Yeah.
it real. So hopefully something came across from that, and that they know where to go. But yeah, that's essentially what we do in San Diego. So we work with a really great collective
Yeah.
council that really supports and understands this topic in San Diego County, and has a bunch of different stakeholders at the table from multidisciplinary facets and professions to really say, what is education doing about this? What is, Human Trafficking Task Force doing about this? What is child welfare's position here? What is the victim services position here? And research and data, and all coming together to really counsel and address how can we put services and be preventative and be collective together.
Yeah.
So it's really great to see. So hope y'all take it for what it is and know how to access help if you need it. I know I left my phone number, so if anybody needs to contact me,
Denise,
we will be
if
here.
you want to text her, Denise,
Yeah.
I can pin that comment again of your number, so you can get texted.
Yeah.
Or message. So left your number pinned, the 619-980-5627.
No, 5626.
5626.
Yeah.
This is why we do that. So
No worries.
I'm gonna repin it, and we'll definitely shout you out this week on like Instagram. Even I'll put together like a little overview of your services. So 5626.
Yes.
Denise. And I love the texting option too, of just like for tips, anything, any questions you have, like if you're unsure of like if it could be, if your friends, like text, ask always, like don't be afraid, like because at the end of the day, like the resources that are out there for you want to be out there for you. Like they're never against you. They're always there for you. So like you're saying, like there's all those support groups solely because they chose to be part of that job and work for.
Call us out on it. You know what I mean? Say like, oh, well, I texted you or I called you or, I mean, definitely. I mean, that's
hold
what
us
we're
accountable.
Here for, right? Yeah, hold us accountable. And, that's like, what we're here for. And I definitely want to encourage that, because my thing is like for the youth. I want any baby out there to know that if you feel something, if this resonates with you, if there's something going on and you need some, you don't know where to go, you don't know who to text, who to call, who to holler at, and you're ready to do that, then here's the number to do that, right? And so, of course, sometimes we can't always get to the phone, but if you have a couple of different ones, mine, the one that's on the referral form, which is iCare, somebody will connect with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yay! Oh my gosh,
we used up the whole hour.
I know. I'm proud of us. Does anyone have last minute questions before Denise has to go on with her day? I know. We did hit 10. I was proud of us. Or 11. I saw the numbers go up.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one, Ashley.
We will. And we'll make it, we'll maybe shout out that video you talked about. To be continued,
Yes.
everyone. To be
Yes,
continued.
TBH.
Mhm.
Ew, TBH.
Yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
really good one. We'll work on how to. Oh, and if anybody out of the 6 knows how we could show the video, oh, maybe you just flip your camera around, friend, and then you show the thing.
Yeah.
We could
Mhm.
do that or whatever.
Yeah.
We're new at this,
And I
but
can even link it if people
Yeah.
want to watch it later too.
definitely.
But
But that's
thank
a good
you.
idea. Maybe we should do
Yeah.
another session for that. Look at the
Yeah.
hearts. Oh, they want it. We got to do it.
They want it. They want a video.
They want a
We'll
video.
definitely do that. But thank you so much for taking time out
Hi,
of your
friend.
day.
Esau just joined. Ew. My little friend. Hey, buddy.
I love the shout outs. Like people watching.
They're probably
like,
saying, "Oh my gosh, how is she on there?"
They're like, "Don't shout me out. Don't shout me out."
I
Just
know.
kidding.
Too late, friend.
So funny. I know. Our personalities are both. We just have to.
Thank you so much for having us on here and letting us do a shout out about CSEC and HT and eye care and stars.
Yeah.
And talk about San Diego Youth Services, and this was good.
All that fun stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
And like for still being open. So left the numbers. You can always Google San Diego Youth Services eye care. It's as easy as that, and it'll take you to that page if you weren't on that. I showed you how to like link the referral form, even see how their like drop-in center looks, all that good stuff. The numbers are on there, and Denise's numbers on the very bottom. Thank you so much, Denise, for being here today.
You're welcome, and thank you to all the friends that joined and the comments and questions.
Yes, we will definitely make this happen again.
Yes, we will. Because the 6 fans want us back.
Yes, they do. We're very popular, as you can see.
I know. Our fan base, our clout is just outrageous.
It is. Influencers coming your way. Just wait for it.
Oh, no.
No TikToks, though. I'm sorry. No TikToks. I can't do that.
Go there.
Okay, I'll sign off. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you very soon. And I will make sure to tag Denise this week with even more resources on our Instagram story.
Awesome.
Yay!
Stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Yes. Enjoy the weather. Yes. Still physical distance, all that good stuff, you know. But thank you again, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. Someone said thank you. So interesting, Amanda.
Yay. Oh, Amanda. Hey, friend. Ew. Shout out to Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda, for shouting Denise out. Okay. Bye.
Bye, y'all.